Yes, we are. We are on. We are on.
Hello, everybody.
We are on
Hello,
live, and we have got an excellent topic coming up tonight, and you're not going to want to miss this one. So, yeah.
So we're working with the post-traumatic stress disorder, and this can be for a lot of reasons. The military, after deaths in the family, after sackings from work, after it can be anything. Whether you've had a trauma in your life and it's a stress where your body reacts to it, then locks in, and you can't get out of the cycle, and you tend to spiral down and down and down and down because you lock into it. Some years ago, Hamish Blake put a thing on 60 Minutes, I think it was, about working with the military, and I've been over the years just trying to see if I can find him, but I've been earnestly looking lately to see if we can get in touch with him to see if he's still involved in it, and we can help him here. And your camera's about to fall around.
I was just going to say, can you see yourself better now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're watching Real Live, everyone.
Real
Live means that you're going to get raw, and if you get off, if you jump off, you may find that we may hang up at any given time. So don't you love my hair? I've done something a little bit different tonight. Actually, my daughter was making fun of it because it's kind of crimped. And good evening to you all, and say hello, say where you're in from, and can you let us know if you can hear us and see us okay. So let us know down in the comments if you can see us and hear us clear, as crystal clear and laser focused. So guys, with no further ado, yes, Ian has been trying to track down Hamish from the radio station because they understand. Hello there, Pam. Hello, everybody, as you're jumping on. They understand it is a real life problem that so many people, Ian, are crippled from stress. So many people are paralyzed from moving forward in their life because they've got this kind of, they've got something that is held into their nervous system, and it's kind of like trapped emotions.
It is, and it's very serious because a lot of these people can end up in suicide. And you'll find that the military, there's more people who have done that coming back from there than were actually killed in Iraq.
And yet all the drama's happening at war, and yet, hello everyone as you're jumping on. Hi Rowan, hi Pam, hi Claudia, hi Val, hi everyone. And if I haven't said hello to you, hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. So, you know, even war vets I have been able to help people. And I know that Anthony Robbins also says that neuro-linguistic program is one of the only techniques that actually works with this kind of stress. So quite often people will go through the war, let's just say the war, for example, because it's quite generic and everybody knows that, you know, there's been war and people get affected and stressed out. But while they're in action, they're actually in action. It's when they come home. It's later. And this is, you know, one of the reasons that I have developed this system called the Rapid Trauma Stress Release is purely and simply because when I looked at the majority of people that I worked with, I mean, it may not necessarily be trauma, but quite often it can be quite high stress or it can be anxiety. So, you know, what happens, Ian? What happens usually when a person comes to see me and suddenly they've been a person who's endured this from a health perspective and a physical perspective, and then all of a sudden, because you've sent me quite a lot of patients, they've released it. What's actually happened to them at a physical level?
Oh, well, there was one classic example of a friend of Terry's from way back who the young fellow ended up in a post-traumatic stress situation because of what happened to the family and everything else. And he was going to a psychologist and they were asking him all the time, how do you feel about it, how do you feel about it, how do you feel about it? over 18 months, and that's wound him down, and they said in the end, oh, he's going to be a vegetable all his life, he's not going to amount to anything anyway. And
so they're making it worse. They're actually,
because they keep
they're
stirring up,
and getting them to talk about it. So what happened after, with what happens after a person actually has this?
With that young fella, with three visits after that, he's perfectly happy young fella, and
living a life,
and everything else, and he
doing normal things. Yes.
Cherry went around to visit the family owner, and he come up and give her a hug and wouldn't leave her side. He was there the whole time because of what he got from Matt, and in three visits against 18 months of.
So basically, guys, this is what happens. So people are actually eliminating their stress. Now, people that are actually high achievers, quite driven, they've got aspirations, they know what they want to do, but quite often they can't get to their dreams because they've got all of this stuff going on. And we've all got stuff. Would you agree with that?
Sure.
All of us have got stuff. So tonight, I'm going to bring on someone, and this somebody is actually already a hypnotherapist. And she chose myself to mentor, train, and actually go through a program with me because she obviously heard about the work that I did, and there's obviously a kind of a avatar tribe mentality here, so like-minded creatures, and I'm going to bring her on because she's only really just started working with me this year, and she is a hypnotherapist, and she has gone through some of my most powerful modalities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite her. Oh, it's not letting me invite. So Claudia, maybe you can invite yourself onto the stream. Would you like to just click the invitation, because for some reason when I go in there I can add just about anyone, but I can't add the person who is coming on board. So would you like to invite yourself, Claudia, if you can find that bottom that bottom button that will actually give you the access. Beautiful, well done.
The beauty of the NLP is that the person that's helping you with it doesn't even have to know what you're dealing with.
Yes.
So it's as long as you know in yourself and you're honest with yourself and you bring up things that were asked to be worked with and everything else, and you work through the process, you will get clear with it. And the professional that's helping you with it doesn't have to know anything about it.
Exactly, content free, you guys.
The biggest problem with the psychology and counselling is that they have to know everything and bring it up. And so what happens is that the superficial stuff might get looked at, but the real deep, dark, really nasty things that what you think are nasty, buried in the back of your system, you don't deal with them because you don't want anyone to know about it. But the beauty with the NLP, they don't even have to know about it, so you can deal with it and you can clear it out.
Exactly. Hey guys, I just need to say.
Off the top.
Exactly. Sorry to interrupt you, Ian. Claudia, live stream is telling me that when I approve you, it is telling me no answer, but it's not even giving you a chance to actually do that. So let's have a look and see if we can add you now. For some strange reason, it's not wanting to add her.
It says the video's not turned on.
Have you got your video turned on okay? Oh, it has to have. Is that what it said? I'll do it again. Their friends won't be able to watch this live video unless they're in your selected audience. Well, you are in my selected audience. Okay, let's see if I can tag you then. And if I tag you, what's going to happen is we will be able to maybe try it from that side of things. Very strange.
The joys of electronics.
I reckon. So if I put invite you there, let's see what happens. See if that comes through to you. And you need to be on a smartphone, and it needs to be a phone, and it needs to be landscape. And you need to, here we go, we're giving a lesson as well. So for those of you who are doing live streams, it's never as easy as you may think. So you need your phone on landscape. It needs to be smartphone, and if you can accept my my request, that would be amazing. So yes, guys, what actually happens is that we have constructed a special program of which takes people through and gets rid of their stuff. Now, as a result, what happens is because they're letting go of big stuff, you know, stuff that is obviously sitting in their, you know, in their nervous system, they're releasing it, and as a result, their health improves, their physical body improves, their, you know, their sense of confidence improves, they become more driven, they become more successful, they become more, you know, in a way they can really live their life to the full, isn't it, Ian? Yeah. And so with this lady, Claudia, unfortunately she doesn't, I'm not able to get her on for whatever reason, but maybe Claudia, you can agree with me and I will go through and talk about Claudia's situation. Well, Claudia was actually born with a broken collarbone. So you accepted the invite? Okay, let's try it again. So Claudia was actually born. The birth itself was very, very traumatic. Now let's just hope that this is
the most commonly broken bone in birth.
There she is! Yay! Hello, hello, hello. How are you, beautiful lady?
Hello.
How are you? Little bit of a delay happening, I'd say. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yep, I can hear you okay. It's just a delay.
Awesome. Awesome. So Claudia, I guess what we want to do is, you know, talk about your experience. So, you know, you're a hypnotherapist and, you know, you obviously chose myself to actually help you to, I guess, define a program to help people and to also help yourself. Would that be right?
Yes, exactly. Yep. Yeah, I really
Fantastic.
I've always been
Okay.
passionate about helping people, so yeah.
And you know, I find that just about all the time. You know, if I'm attracting people, generally speaking, they are high achievers, they love people, they love working with people, they want to actually make a difference in their lives. So what was one of the, I guess, the biggest things that stood out for you, Claudia, when we went through the system of our rapid trauma stress release?
Okay, so the rapid trauma stress release, the first time, the first thing that you did with me, I did feel very different straight away. I felt a lot more relaxed, and it was as though everything had just lifted. I just felt much lighter, and all those things that were keeping me in fear and holding me back from moving forward just have gone. They just disappeared.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And how long ago was that?
We did the rapid.
So that was last week, okay. And so you noticed that, look, if I had $1 for every single client over my entire career, which is 13 years, that said that they felt lighter, I'd be able to fly all three of us to Bali
Yeah.
for the retreat, for the Bali retreat.
And so,
And some. So, you know, now let's just go, let's
Yeah.
rewind a little bit before that. So let's go back to, this is
Yep.
something now, this may shock viewers when they hear this one. However, I really didn't know Claudia. This time last year, we didn't know each other, right? You may have seen me on Facebook, but really,
Yeah.
we had no connection as far as the work that we're doing. And this may shock people. Let's go to the first session that we had, because I'm just going to give them a little bit of a story without giving them fluff or too much content. But there was the trauma of when you were born, and obviously you had a broken collarbone at birth. Now, as a result, Claudia
Yeah.
has suffered a lot of physical issues through that, and a lot of emotional pain too. So what we did with the this part of the rapid trauma stress release that we use, I actually I took Claudia back, and actually we dissolved that through our method. Can you tell us what happened as a result of that first session? That's the first session we did
So
ever.
the first session with timeline therapy, and so I went back through my life, back through the birthing process, even further before I was even born. I got rid of a lot of stuff that I'd picked up from, you know, family and ancestral things. I got rid of that, I released that, and then I rebirthed, and, you know, it made it a very positive experience. And after the session, I felt a bit sort of strange and dizzy, and the first thing I noticed was, wow, I can turn my head to the left, which I haven't been able to do for years. So that was, and I still can, so it's great. That was months ago.
So that was months ago. So Claudia couldn't turn her head to the left. Now, I'll just tell you from my point what I got, because I didn't even know that that was going to happen. And this is proof that it's not about me. I'm not a guru, and I know Anthony Robbins says the same thing. What it is that we all have a guru in us. We have what we call the super conscious mind. So because you're actually going to be learning, because what happens is I've removed stress. I've removed anxiety from my life. Ian's removed anxiety and stress from his life. A lot of these people that are watching us, you know, they've done the same thing when they're involved in this. What we're doing is, as a result of removing it, this is the ironic part that even shocks me. Our super conscious is so freaking smart. Napoleon Hill calls it our infinite intelligence. It's like the workshop, the storehouse that has everything, right? It controls your whole life, your whole physical, emotional being. And, you know, when it's clogged up with stuff, you know, sometimes you're blocked and you're not able to move forward the way you can when you release it. Now, what shocked me, as much as I know it will shock everyone else, is that when we went back, yes, I knew that there was a sense of trauma around Claudia's younger years, with physical illness, with her mum's birth. And of course, when we actually did all that, I didn't need to know any details. Her super conscious mind did this, you guys. This is what I want you to hear, because I don't want anyone thinking, oh my gosh, is she professing to be this like magic shaman woman or something like that? That is actually not the case. What it is that, yes, I do believe I I have a gift, and I do believe I'm called on this planet to actually do this the way Ian is called on the planet to be a chiropractor. However, it is that part of you, that spiritual part of you, that actually healed yourself. I only gave you the tools. I'm very passionate about that. And so as you actually went back through time, the startling thing was, hey, I don't know whether I've even ever told you this, Claudia. I didn't know you had a neck issue.
Yeah, actually,
Right?
I don't think I mentioned it. Yeah.
I suppose I never asked and you, so why would you?
That's the thing you will say. You don't need to know the content. You don't need to know
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, and the ironical thing is when she came back, see, people quite often, because when they remove all this stuff from their life, and especially if they've never been in a forum like this before, they are startled. So you ask a person who goes through that rapid trauma stress release, how do you feel now? I've learned, don't ask people that question, not on the first date. Don't ask that question on the first date. Maybe on the follow-up or, you know, later on down the track. Because people like look at you go, huh? And there's so there's so much movement. They've just lived, they could have lived 100 years if they've gone back through ancestral generations and changed DNA. You know what I mean? So the fact is, I don't know how many years a person is actually living, and how, I mean, I've gone back and I've dealt with my grandmother's things, right? And a lot of the shame and guilt and things that I was, you know, suffering through my life. When I went back on the same time, you know, the same therapy model that I took you through, Claudia, I ended up on a train and I was like this young girl, and I was actually realized I was healing my grandmother's pain through the DNA, and it carries on through the generations. So in actual fact, what happened when you came back, this is what you said. I don't know whether you can remember, but you can obviously confirm this. You kind of went like this. And I went, so how do you feel? And you kept on going like this.
I do remember that.
And then you said, I said, oh, is everything okay? You said, I can turn my head to the left. So if you didn't hear this, you guys, you need to go back and listen to the story of what happened. And, you know, what I will say is, Claudia, you are a hypnotherapist and you've chosen me to obviously coach you through and to get rid of some of this stuff. And this is what I do want to say. This is what you're going to get, and this is what anybody else that wants to join our program is going to get as well. The first thing is, everybody's got stress. You're not the only one. Everybody has had some sort of trauma in their life. I don't care. Even if you've had a perfect life, everybody has. I mean, a child can be traumatized by their mother leaving a room. Do you know what I mean? That is still a trauma.
Yeah.
So we have all endured trauma at some extent. So what happens is, I have created a system and I have trapped, and fortunately I've got a mentor who has given me a system to help me to put all of the stuff that I've been doing for 13 years and turn it into conscious competency. In other words, I've got to become really conscious about what works, because I know that this stuff works. And so now Claudia comes along, you're a hypnotherapist, you are an authority on this because A, you have first-handedly experienced the release of not just emotional pain, but physical pain, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
You want to be, you want to help people, correct?
Yes, correct. I sure do.
Absolutely. So you're here in this live stream, and you know, now that Claudia has released so much stuff, I'm not saying that life's going to be perfect, because that's just not going to happen. We're always going to have new things happen. I'll tell you what you can expect though, Claudia, and that is that you will have what they call, if we're looking at it more from a positive point of view, because I know we've been talking more about the negative and how it has released that negative. When you tap into your, what we call super conscious, you are tapping into your genius. You are tapping into a part that is smarter than anybody on this live stream, even Dr. Ian, who is a genius, actually IQ-wise. Your super conscious is smarter than all of the people watching this live, all the people that are watching the video put together, and everybody has got this, and it actually operates your in spirit, your inspiration, your motivation, because inspiration then promotes motivation, right? Your physical well-being, because you're proof of the pudding in that.
Yeah. Oh, it's not just my neck. Like I've got a lot more energy, and I'm able to manage other pain issues that I've had. I manage them much more effectively as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. And like emotionally, like, has your kids noticed anything? Because funnily enough, you know,
Yes.
yeah, okay, I'll get to that in a sec. So the strangest thing that happens amongst a lot of people that come and see me is that they'll come back and they'll say, my whole family changed.
I said one of my patients to see Terry a couple of years ago. This was on the Wednesday. He saw Terry on the Friday. He saw me get on the Monday. He says, so how'd she get in contact with my family? And I said, I don't think she has. A whole lot of them changed. Everyone's changed. And I said, no, mate. You've changed and they changed with you.
Yes.
Wayne Dyer says, change your mind, change your world. Your whole world around you will change. It's amazing. When you shift energy, when you shift the stuff from your life, what happens is you see the world through different eyes. Would you agree with that?
Oh, completely. Yes. Yeah.
So what have your kids noticed, Claudia?
Okay, so on Friday when I picked my son up from school, he said, Mum, why are you so hyper? I said, what do you mean hyper? And so I just seemed to, you know, have more energy, and so that was interesting. Yeah, he picked it up really quickly. Yeah.
Yep. And when your mindset is right, when you've got that part, when it's like you've cleared everything out. So I won't take up much more of your time, and thank you so much for joining. So with our rapid trauma stress release, obviously Claudia is going to be a person who is going to be not just a clinical hypnotherapist, but she is going to actually qualify to help, you know, the people that are watching from your friends. Perhaps tomorrow you can share this live stream, and you know, this is going to be something that Claudia is going to be able to help you with. Now the other element of it is that we do speed coaching. The speed coaching is what's coming next. That is that, I mean, I did that with you without you even knowing it. That's just the way I talk, the questions that I ask. They're clean questions. When I say clean, it means that the therapist stays out of it. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm helping you through questions to draw your own power, to resolve your own issues. No advice needed from me, nothing. So the speed coaching is going to be what you're going to be conscious of next. And of course, you know, as a result, the master key. Now, the master key for you, Claudia, is, and I'm just going to say this, the master key for you is that your pain becomes your gain.
Yep.
And so tell us, or tell me, the people that you want to help, and you know what you would like to do. So what problem would they have, and how can you move them forward?
Well, because I've experienced a fair bit of, you know, physical pain and trapped, you know, a lot of trauma in my body, then I feel that, you know, they're the sort of people that I could help, people that, you know, live with chronic pain conditions and people that have experienced different traumas that they haven't been able to release and move on from.
I love that. That's beautiful. And did you hear that, guys? Said in like 20 seconds. So it's going to be trauma that has actually created physical pain. So for me, it's kind of trauma that has, you know, caused people to be stuck, not able to kind of move forward. And then once they release it, they're stepping into their success, they're stepping into their confidence, which obviously is what's going to happen with yourself and with the people that you're going to help. And then with your hypnotherapy, imagine, you know, then the person gets to experience this amazing session of, you know, relaxation, meditation, where they can, you know, where they've just let everything go, and where they create a story, they create the life that they want to design. And then as a result, you've just been that epic person that it's almost like every negative thing that happened to you happened so you could get to this point. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to happen, for sure. I mean, my confidence has increased a lot already.
I can
You
see.
know,
Well, you're
like
here.
myself to believe. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can imagine if someone's out in the backyard digging the muck pile all the time, they're not living life, they're not doing anything else, they're stuck in the muck pile. And it's the same with the mind. If you've got this post-traumatic stress, your mind is stuck in the muck pile, ding all the time, so everything else gets neglected. Now,
Yep.
once the muck pile's got rid of, disposed of, hey, hold on, there's a world out there. We can go and enjoy it. And the mind then refocuses on that because that's no longer there to see.
Yep.
And it's just changing perspective, really, and changing everything else, and dispose of the muck pile, get rid of that. So then they're free to go on and look around and see the world, and see what's there, and see relationships, and you know, friendships, see careers, see life, see travel, see anything they want to do. It's there and it's available because they're no longer out there digging in them.
They're not busy out the back digging in the mud. Now they're swimming in the fountain of youth. They're swimming in this crystal clear kind of, you know, ability to create an epic life to go forward. So, hey, well done. I'm so excited for you, Claudia. And what I'm really excited about is this Saturday, we're nearly full. If anybody that is invited or coming to Designer Coded Confidence this Saturday, our workshop, it is free. It is something that I am gifting to the general public, but we are nearly full. I think we've got about 3 spots left. So are you looking forward to it Saturday?
I am.
You know, in the meantime,
looking forward to it.
It's going to be amazing. And in the meantime, guys, if you're curious to know more about this, private message me, because, you know, the thing is, the one step that you take, just like Claudia, she approached me. Bless you. So she approached me. So, you know, with no further ado, I'm going to say thank you so much. You are very brave, very courageous for coming on here. And because it's a big move doing live streams, I don't think people even understand how big it really is. So that in itself is a huge accomplishment. This is the first day for the rest of your life, Claudia.
Sure is.
Yep, you're going to be helping lots and lots of people.
Yep, looking forward to it. Very much.
What an epic story. So it was worth waiting for, guys. Go back to the beginning and watch the the story. We had a few little hiccups getting ourselves on. It's worth the wait. So go back, watch it. And Claudia, mwah, much love to you. And I'll see you on our webinar this Thursday night. More exciting things coming up.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Mwah.
Results,
Bye.
results count.
Mwah.
See
They
ya.
do.